আপনারা দেখছেন টকিং পয়েন্ট, সৌজন্যে স্যাপ সলিসিটরস, যে কোনো আইনি পরামর্শের জন্য।
Welcome back. We are still with our guest Yasmin Choudhury in our studios here. We have been talking about different things that Yasmin is involved with, and one of her pet and favorite concern is gender equality, particularly Muslim women. Yasmin, you were talking about poverty porn. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's something actually how I ended up meeting The Guardian, because I was invited to something called the Fringe World Travel Market event, and I got up and I started railing against this poverty porn. And what that to me means is how in the West, and because I'm the founder of Lovedesh, Lovedesh is a philanthropic brand. It's a British brand, just trying to change the way the rest of the world looks at what is colloquially known as third world countries. And I started to look and
Somebody
realize...
calls it majority world.
Sorry?
Somebody calls it majority world.
Yeah, well, and I call it actually the first world, right? But this third world and the poverty porn is the voyeurism that takes place. And the only time we ever engage with these countries, especially like Bangladesh, is always when there's bad news. And when I went on Google one day and I was looking, and when you look at all the, results, it's always awful, bad. And I started to have big issues, and before we went to break there, you were talking about your own opinions, obviously, on the Bangladesh state of affairs. Mine is actually towards those in the Western Hemisphere who I believe could be doing more. Now, firstly, in certain countries where poverty alleviation, I don't happen to think that the idea of showing weeping, dying people all the time is necessarily a good thing in isolation. So this poverty porn is a huge vehicle where once in a while the rest of the people in the Western Hemispheres sitting with their armchairs, and they're very generous, because we give a lot, millions, will raise money because of some, poverty issue. Yeah. Now, obviously, charity needs to exist, but I got really upset because when I asked my friends, and I myself was guilty of this, I'd be like, oh, Bangladesh, oh yeah, it's not a cool country to belong to. Or when I was young, I used to think, I wish I was American or Japanese or, something I thought was exotic. Yeah. So this poverty porn, I now hold responsible. Who's responsible for this? This whole banging the drum and poor Bangladesh. Oh dear Bangladesh. Oh dear, oh gosh, Rwanda, Ethiopia. What about all the good stuff that exists? Let's start talking about that.
Right.
And that's when in my own trips to Bangladesh from 2009, I started to have amazing fun. And it's the fun that I discovered there I'm bringing back through Lovedesh to say, right, everyone, yes, you can pick up the phone and give money to sponsor someone, but actually, first and foremost, I'm making a call to say, let's travel the third world. And I did a film, it's on my website. And this is where it was fused with
What's
an actor.
What's your website?
It's lovedesh.com. And, again, I'm secretly railing against the people I met in Bangladesh trying to help Bangladesh. And, the constant, oh, woe is us, oh, what have we got in Bangladesh? And I was like, wait, hang on. You've got so much going for you. And actually, in a land of 160 or 70 million people, the rivers, the food, the longest beach in the world, the fact that, there's home to 400, I believe, Royal Bengal tigers. I took The Guardian surfing in Cox's Bazar, right? All of this is not getting across. So no wonder, people who aren't Bangladeshi who have heritage don't want to go. And then that's then festers through to the younger generations. So, I want to change that. And I got also fed up when I was out in Bangladesh and, being a entrepreneur, social entrepreneur on a shoestring, as I call it, you've got to find clever ways of making your money stretch. I'm not privileged. I travel economy. But I always notice, more than likely, also the people in business class, were non-Bangladeshis, often white. And I did meet someone quite senior, I won't say who, in a foreign
They're
aid
being financed by
organisation.
NGOs.
Yeah, but they always stay in 5-star hotels. They'll be in their 4x4s. And then I discovered someone in a lift. He didn't realise because I was wearing local dress, and he was kicking off in American saying, oh my God, you know, I'm having an awful time, who's saying, because they don't get out of their bubble. And that's wrong. So what Lovedesh is saying, you know what, I'm going to again start with a blank canvas, and I'm going to go back to the people.
Right.
And then I'm going to look at what is it that would excite us in the West, all right? Because sometimes, and I do have this conversation with people in Bangladesh, they'll tell me, is it this, Yasmin, is it that? And I'm like, no, it's not. So one of the things I've brought over, which they're shocked, you know, when you go to the rural village, the curries that are cooked on a fire, that is now being done by Lovedesh. I was done at an event in Oxfordshire last year, and the rapturous people, you know, this is the Oxfordshire set, very middle class. Open fire. I did a demonstration.
Using Buddhist sticks?
Using?
Coal or?
No, wood.
Wood.
Yep, wood. And then the taste, that is now something Lovedesh is bringing through to engage audiences in a new way and to say, yes, I know the garment workers are, you know, all of that, but please, can you just allow yourselves to look at Bangladesh in a new light, in a fun way? So, you know, I think a lot of young Bangladeshis as well come across me and say, what were you doing? Why were you in Bangladesh? And, you know, I've had some feedback saying, you're crazy, you're nuts. And I say, yeah, I like it just like that. Because truly, Bangladesh has taught me so much. And I can honestly say today, I'm so lucky, because I believe I've got the best of both worlds.
Great, but can you really divorce the instability, the problems of huge snarl-ups of the traffic, the mosquitoes? I'm not talking about villages, I'm talking about the urban centers where life is very difficult. I spent about 4 weeks, I only came back last week from Dhaka. The political situation was so bad and one could not go out, so I went for a week to Hong Kong to spend time with my brother. See. And I came back and I said that to say I was bidding goodbye to the militant mosquitoes of Dhaka.
I love that, the militant mosquitoes.
They don't go away.
I think they're all militant in Bangladesh, but this is where, actually, I'd say perhaps you're doing it slightly wrong, and who am I to educate you? Yeah, I need to take you out to Bangladesh and do it, you know, the Lovedesh way. Firstly, I tend to avoid Dhaka. I fly straight into the city of my heritage, Sylhet, and one of the things I yearn for is to go and stay in the rural areas, okay? Right. Because you see, this is the charm that Bangladesh holds. If you have a British passport, it allows you to go to anywhere in the whole world. And I keep trying to remind my, you know, counterparts in Bangladesh and say, when you're a British citizen, you are competing with the rest of the world to attract someone's money. In UK, because people are working very hard, they get a certain amount of time off. So when you go to Bangladesh, I say to them, you don't go for the noise and the pollution and the mosquitoes and the hotels, which, in my opinion, pretty standard. You go to those boutique hotels, and Nazim Gor is one of them that I love. I know the owner very well. There's also the Dusai that's just opened up a couple of years ago. That's where you get the beauty, and then you explore the everyday life. And the charm is, for me, talking to the man who's sitting there selling the sweet corn, to watching the river life, to talking to the women. He'll show me all the different ways of cooking a fish. That's what.
Well, I do go to villages. I do spend a week or two whenever. I mean, I go there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I spend a week in the village, see. My wife has got so many pet projects going on in her village, like schools and university, college and hospital and mosque. But I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong, see, and we should not highlight the good points of Bangladesh. But I think we can't divorce that aspect from this, see. To attract people, we do need stability, we do need less of mosquitoes, less of... if a man goes from London to Sri Bangladesh, lands in Dhaka or Sylhet, because these days all Biman flights go to Sylhet first and then go to Dhaka, okay? What happens to him? I mean, if he does not feel secure, he'll come back, he won't be there.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because again, India had that
That's
issue.
where your love dish comes in.
Yeah, but this is the thing, because I'm not saying, and let's think about it, as a businesswoman, I don't think all my income's going to come from people taking holidays to Bangladesh, but it's a start, just to plant the seed.
Yeah.
Secondly, you're absolutely right, because I can't turn around and say, oh, it's like Australia. But while it's not, every country, it's like a beauty contest, has its own charms, right? And my harshest criticism actually is those outside of Bangladesh who could be working a lot more to help Bangladesh engage in a more peaceful process. Secondly, understanding that it's still a new country. So, you know, my job at Lovedesh is to turn around and say, okay, think about taking a holiday. In fact, I think my job is more to convince the second and third generation of British and Bangladeshis. I know how horrific it can be.
And a good number of them are very well off. They have time.
Yeah, but this is what I'm coming to as well. I do, to a certain extent, hold the elder generation slightly responsible, because so many of them come and tell me, oh my God, I can't go to Bangladesh, I can't sis, because I had such an awful time. And I say to them, wait.
Every time I go, I come back, I say that, and next year again I go.
See, I love it.
That's the love.
No, but the young people, what happens is they're kept in the bubble, and they're not taken on, I wouldn't say the tourist trail, but the real authentic ways.
Would you tell us something about your AMC Ariza?
Yeah, so this is the thing. So Lovedesh is there, creating all these products and services. There's food, travel, design, and you know, people can go and have a look and see the kind of work I'm doing to bring to the people in the Western Hemisphere. But think about it, because half of it is also trying to give back to Bangladesh. Because I didn't want to be one of those organizations who just takes from Bangladesh, makes money, and sits on it. No, the idea is as Lovedesh makes money, and I've just completed my R&D, research and development, so I'm trying to now, next phase is take it to market. As Lovedesh makes money, one of the suppliers will be the people who we work and engage with via the Amkariza Foundation. My father has left an estate. I'm able, for example, to conduct field trials. So I'm in my third year of, I've converted paddy fields into organic vegetables. Huge nightmare, but I'm trying. And so as the people I'm working with are empowered, are taught, are trained, some of them have never done a job before, especially the women, they will slowly come to feed the business that Lovedesh will hopefully chuck them. And so the two are like the brother and sister in the philanthropic world, because one I don't think can survive without the other. And that's what I want to take forward. And my success, I believe, will come the day both are successful. Lovedesh is profitable. Inshallah, I hope it goes global. It will.
Yasmin, it was a pleasure having you. It was very interesting talking to you, and we wish you good luck in all your projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for being with us. We hope that you have enjoyed the show as much as we have. Here's a lady who is looking at all the bright aspects of Bangladesh and trying to promote, trying to create a world where women and men both live together and happily and with equal rights as provided by the Holy Quran. And we wish to have good work, such good work being carried on by our younger generation. Thank you very much for being with us. Same time, same channel. We'll meet again next week. Thank you.